All right, my IBMOR brothers. Here's one that I think everybody's going to be interested in. And they say that what happens on YouTube doesn't spill out into the real world. Because I constantly hear that social media and being online is not the real world. And the two don't mix. Now, it's very true that when you turn off social media, that it will not exist. You don't turn on your device, or you don't turn on your computer, you don't go online, you don't go on the social media platforms, you won't see it. That is very true. Just like if you don't turn on your television, TV and what goes on TV program does not exist. But there's so many people plugged into it that it does influence the population. People do listen. And people don't just go on social media and don't carry ideas out into the real world. They actually do. So social media, which is social, does influence. Look at Twitter. Look at YouTube. Look at Facebook as far as body cams for police officers. It does influence the real world because people make up the real world and people make up social media. The fact is that social media doesn't have any influence on the population is just that. BS. Anyway, this is from the Black Youth Project. This is an online blog, online publication. And this is probably just the beginning, because I'm sure once people pick this up, we're going to see more and more, how can I say, outside news media being interested in us. It's not just white incels. We need to talk about the Black Manosphere too. And this is from Aaron Fountain, I do believe. Mainstream conversation about online misogyny keep neglecting the Black Manosphere. And it's because of misogynoir. In other words, hatred of black women. Oh, on his weekly podcast, The Brother Pill, Sacramento native and now Poland transplant O'Shea Duke Jackson conducts segments, interviews, and discussions about the issues faced by black men. Occasionally, he talks about these things alone, but on most episodes, he speaks with various often recurring guests. Videos range anywhere from 10 minutes to over 3 hours and bring in around 10,000 views. A significant chunk of the content is about black men and their relationship with black women. Some episode titles include Why Black Men Deserve to Have Side Bitches, Do Black Women Create the Men They Complain About? Topic actually comes from Obsidian, but I digress. Listeners call in during live broadcasts to concur with the guests or point out areas of contention. Others donate money. Alongside his podcast, Jackson created the website negromanosphere.com. Shout out to O'Shea. There's 2 mentions outlining the motivation being the creation of the site, he asserted. It is about damn time black men in the Western world have a voice. We deserve to have our own preferences, our own thoughts, our own media, our own voices. Contributors to the site hail from around the world, and articles range from uplifting themes about self-improvement and physical activity to pieces that openly blame black women for single motherhood, promiscuity, and allegedly raising weak black men. The Black Manosphere formed out of a notable goal, but at the cost of a vulnerable population. It seeks to uplift black men, but does so by demeaning black women. The Brother Pill claims to intend to provide social guidance for black men and aims to help them improve financially and socially. But contributions use the platform to regularly engage in misogynoir and promote narratives about black pathological behaviors, often viewing black women as distinctly different from all other racial and ethnic groups. Contributors allege that black women are too masculine, lack femininity, and refuse to know their place. The one notable difference between the Black Manosphere and its white counterpart: while white men want to see traditional gender roles returned out of fear of a declining social status, black men, as New Yorker writer Doreen St. Felix noted, are invested in the same gender roles because they want male privilege on par with white men, which they believe has been historically denied to them. These men must frame black women as disobedient and too masculine because in their minds it explains why they feel that their own masculinity is being undermined. The Black Manosphere is a subculture within a subculture. It's not on the radar of journalists who have documented the larger, ostensibly white manosphere, even creating numerous online glossaries to explain its terminology. Interestingly, it adopts the same language and similar ideas to its white counterparts. But the members of the Black Manosphere believe the ideology of mainstream groups fall into defeatism. They view men going their own way, MGTOW, and incels as groups who have waved the white flags on women and dating. Indeed, MGTOW encourages men to do away with women altogether. The Black Manosphere, on the other hand, demands solutions to the things they see as problems. But when assessing dating culture, the Black Manosphere insists that black women are to blame for almost everything wrong with dating and black culture in general. While some commentators disagree, the majority of members constantly allege that black women have poor taste in men for going after Pookie and Ray Ray, caricatures of black men with thuggish behaviors. They accuse single mothers of coddling their sons who then fail to live independently. Although the Black Manosphere's intentions are much different, their claims ironically resemble Daniel Patrick Moynihan's 1965 report, The Negro Family, the Case for International Action. Moynihan linked racial inequality to family structure, argued that civil rights legislation alone cannot alleviate racial inequality, and blamed black women for the troubles of black men. He alleged black women were overeducated, overemployed, and agreed that the black women favored their daughters over their sons for school and work. Donovan Sharp is a prolific writer in the Black Manosphere and routinely makes harsh judgments about black women. Acknowledging how hated he is, his bio on one site equips about being a sexist son of a bitch who objectifies women by keeping them on their toes, their backs, and their knees where they belong. Twitter and YouTube banned his accounts. He unfortunately created another YouTube account, which led him to upload content on his own website as well as on Facebook and Instagram. While critiquing black women, he frequently uploads white women as better dating partners. He views black women as occupying the bottom of the sexual totem pole. In one article outlining 5 reasons why he no longer dates black women, he states that they are not submissive, only desire black men because they cannot attract men of other races, refuse to perform fellatio and don't know their place, and have high expectations that they cannot meet themselves. White women hold a strong allure within the Black Manosphere and outside of it. Although members agree that white women aren't perfect, they view them as easier to approach, more open to sexual exploration, more feminine, lacking in attitude, and willing to perform duties as housewives more efficiently than black women. Even so, there are questions about why many black men seem to date unattractive white women, as well as why black women supposedly only date thugs. Dating coaches often encourage young men to get Beckies as a caricature of a respectable college-educated middle-class white woman and avoid bottom-shelf Rebecca, which refers to white women who act black or who only date black men. Ironic. O'Shea Jackson, although he maintains that he does not date interracially, argues that black men flock to white women because they look at other characteristics in selecting a man, besides physical attributes and personality such as education, work ethic, goals, achievement, and in contrast to black women in America. This subculture includes other groups as well. Black incels routinely upload videos railing against black women for not dating them, despite claiming to be good guys. Black pickup artists have created YouTube channels, blogs, and websites to teach young men self-improvement, how to stop being simpletons, and of course, how to pick up women. A user called Alpha Male Strategies, who calls himself the best black dating coach on YouTube, and once said women are all sluts, accumulates income through his channel and his terrible book. Like most pickup artists, he claims modern dating has changed because of social media and believes feminism is the biggest culprit in the dating world. It is difficult to assess how many men are part of this subculture within a subculture. These YouTube channels vary from a few thousand views to over 100,000 views. Some Black Manosphere articles receive little attention and others get hundreds of comments and engagement. Regardless, it's a swirling pit of hatred directed squarely at Black women, and several of its leaders have benefited financially from it, profiting from their misogynoir. Although this subculture has never influenced anyone to commit an act of public terrorism like incels have, as far as we know, its existence is still troubling. With the Black Manosphere constantly circling us, Black women constantly find themselves, to borrow the subtitle from historian Deborah Gray White's 1990 book, In Defense of Themselves, in the face of sentiments brimming with misogynoir as they always have been. The continued overlooking of the Black Manosphere in mainstream discourse about online misogyny reinforces how mainstream feminism neglects misogynoir and impacts on Black women's lives. Aaron G. Founding Jr. is a PhD candidate in the Department of History at Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana. His writings have appeared in Al Jazeera America, Latina Rebels, The Hill, Black Perspectives, and Occupy. Very long article, but I think it was worthwhile. Haven't quite made it to the big time, but the Black Manosphere, you're on their way. They're beginning to take notice. They have been talking about the Black Manosphere for the last couple of years in the back circles, especially in Black academia. We have gotten the attention of Black academia. They don't talk about us out loud because they don't want us to spread. But I know my videos have circulated Black academia. And I'm sure Angry Man's and O'Shea's videos have also. So we are where I would say MGTOW was maybe 4 years ago. They've been trying to ignore you. But the thing is that this means that the Black Manosphere is growing and growing faster than they would like. And since we're such a relatively small population and we're far more fluid and connected than, say, the white media is, that this, what we call not movement, but this sector probably is going to get a lot more attention. I remember MGTOW back in the day when they first started to notice MGTOW as something different from pickup artists and from MRAs, men's rights movements. MGTOW got a lot of flack. They tried to close MGTOW down just like the Black women tried to close down the Black Manosphere a couple of years ago. It failed, and once it failed, by the mere act of them trying to kill it, they spread the word. And once they spread the word, more guys started listening, and even if they didn't agree, they started listening and taking points from it, because a lot of the talking points from the Black Manosphere are actually spreading out into the population. I hear women say it in certain circles. I hear some of this stuff even on the news. You hear certain bylines that you could have only heard from the Black Manosphere, 2 or 3 years ago. So a lot of this stuff is slowly but surely creeping out into the mainstream, because, if Black men hear something, especially on social media, since we're all connected, they share the videos. And if they share the videos, those ideas propagate. Those ideas don't just stay in a separated like it's an iron wall. No, they percolate. They percolate in people's mindsets, and people start using the valuable ideas that they pick up. Now we have a lot of women, because of what's going on in the society as far as money, as far as the government is concerned. A lot of women are starting to creep back and bend in their ear into exactly what men are saying in private but open conversation. We got to remember, YouTube is, since it's anonymous, a lot of private thoughts come into open conversation. A lot of people looking for answers come to YouTube, come to social media. And since the Black Manosphere not only permeates YouTube, but also Twitter, also a lot of this stuff is showing up on Facebook. which is the domain of black women. Black women control their sector of Facebook. And when they hear something they don't like, they're going to come after it. And when they come after it, they do what? They spread it. So, Black Manosphere, I don't know whether to congratulate you or pity you. So, O'Shea, Angry Man, Obsidian, are you ready for your 5 minutes of fame? That's all I got, brothers, for this one. This is BGS out, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.